All right, so we are going to talk about Super Bowl pool. How many of you have done it before? Anybody? Okay, so I'm going to have Kate give you the details. But step one is setting a sales goal. And we had on our Facebook group, we had all of you kind of pick what your sales goal is going to be for this. And we do the same thing with the $1,000 day sale where we have you pick a goal. Now, if you're like, I don't know what kind of goal to set, if you're a brand new consultant, I think the key to it is you want to stretch yourself a little bit, but you don't want it to seem so far out of there. So I would say if you're a new consultant, go for 300. If you're a seasoned consultant with a smaller customer base, go for 500. And if you are just had $300 or $400 in reorders last week, like a few of you did, you better be pushing like that $1,000 or more goal, because I know that you ladies can hit that. So that's kind of step one, because if you don't set a goal, you're gonna hit it every time, and it's nothing, right? So so really important to do that. That's kind of the first step. So if you want to go ahead and put your goal in the comment section just for fun, just because it's kind of fun to celebrate each other, you can do that. But the gist of it is you basically just ask your customers if they want to be in a fun Super Bowl pool. Okay, and I'm going to have Kate explain that. And you do not need to discount the product for this. In fact, I don't recommend discounting the product because you don't need to. And we did a lot of sales in like November and December. So this is not a sale. It's kind of like a fun raffle where they have the opportunity to earn some free product. And I asked Kate to kind of be our speaker on this because she has done this pretty consistently for the last probably 3, 4, 5 years, and she always sells a lot. So Kate, do you want to take it away? And I'm going to be sharing the screen a little bit too, because I have all of this stuff made for it. So Kate, go ahead and she wore Vikings today because I'm Packers.
Cheese head stuff, so I had to represent the Vikings a little bit. And I looked back. I've actually been doing the Super Bowl board since 2014. So basically, almost every year I've been a consultant, I have done the Super Bowl board.
Wow, I had no idea. That's awesome.
Some years have been better than others. Some years I've worked at it a little bit harder. But I'm going to be talking about how, like, even if you forget about it until, which you better not, because Emily's going to be blowing up your email and Facebook and everything about it. So you better not wait till the last minute. But even if you do, you can be successful at it. And so that's why I really like this kind of sales tool, especially it's a great way to end the end of January. Because in the past I've had Januaries where I haven't really done anything since the holidays, and I've had really strong Januaries as well, that this just helps reinforce that. And so it is a really perfect way to end your month, get some sales, earn your consistency jewelry. And because the Super Bowl, I think, is February 7th.
Correct. Yeah, it's the 7th.
It's going to start off your February as well. So yeah, I'm going to kind of talk about what I do with the Super Bowl board. It's super simple. And really, it's kind of like the $1,000 day sale. You have absolutely nothing to lose. So just do it and offer it to your customers. Tell them that you're doing this promotion, because what's the worst that can happen? You're going to do it and you sell $300 in product. Who's going to complain about that? So, yeah, everybody, whether you're a brand new consultant or whether you have really not had the sales in the past, a few months that you really wanted, or whether you are kind of at the top of your game right now, you are going to want to do this and get some sales. So, do you want to put up?
Yep, so I'm going to bring up, so I made some graphics for it. So I will bring these up. Poor Kate did not see these ahead of time, but it's what we always do. I just like to, surprise you. So here we go. So this is the email that you guys are going to be getting, but this is the gist. So this picture is what you can send to customers. So go ahead, Kate.
Yep. And so this graphic I have used, some years I've, really blanketed my customers with it with an email, a text, word of mouth, multiple text messages, I like throw it at them. Other years I have not done as much, but it definitely shows. So you want to, this is something that you can start. I don't know. I was actually thinking about starting it this week already. I just came back from vacation and so didn't have great sales this week because I was on vacation, and actually thought about I need to start the Super Bowl board this week because there have been some years where I have kind of texted this out to my customers, told them I'm starting it like 2 full weeks before the Super Bowl. And then other times I've done it, 1 week before the Super Bowl or 5 days before the Super Bowl. It is totally up to you when you want to start it.
I'm going to recommend starting tomorrow so that,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You get this thing going and then you can follow up on it, and it takes people time. So I'm going to send it to mine tomorrow.
It gives them a little bit of time. And then also you have a much better chance of filling up your board, which if you scroll down a little bit more, Emily, your goal is to fill up every square on this board, because that is equivalent to $1,000 in retail. Who would not really be excited to sell $1,000 by February 7th? That's $500 profit because we are not discounting the product. Like Emily said, what's great about this is it's not a sale. You're giving away some product at the end, but it's for future orders. And so when you sell product between now and the Super Bowl, which is February 7th, every order that you get, your customer gets their name in one square for every $10 of their order. And so step 1 is to collect orders. And really all you have to do is text that graphic out to your customers.
Yep. And I do have, so there are instructions in the email too. So it'll tell you, so they get 1 square for every 10 purchased. You just randomly pick squares. You don't want to put like the same person right in a row. You want to like put Gabrielle here, Kate here, like just make it super random.
Yep. So the first step is to send that graphic out to your customers. And it's as simple, I'm sure you have a script on there, but my script has always been super simple, saying, hey, I'm doing something fun for the Super Bowl.
That's exactly what this does.
For every $10 in product that you purchase, you get a square on my grid, and I'm giving away, you could win $25 to $125 worth of free product. How does that sound? And this is really the time, like when you offer somebody $125 in free product, they are going to be checking their stash and like stocking up for the next year, which trust me, you'll get orders from them within the next year if they're using that much product. But this is when like everybody, even if they just ordered a week ago, I still get reorders from people because I'm doing something fun. I'm giving away product. My customers know that I don't do a lot of sales. I do the $1,000 day sale in the summer. I do the Pink Friday kind of holiday open house, and I do the Super Bowl pool where they have a chance at earning free product, but it's not a sale. So they take advantage of it. So send that out to your customers, and then you just sit back and start collecting orders. And then when you get an order from somebody, you always want to try and upsell them, because they get a square for every $10 of product. I do retail product. I don't include tax because I want to fill up the board and know that I sold $1,000 in retail. So tax doesn't count. Plus, I think it just complicates things.
Agree. Yep. You should do it before tax.
Yep. So 1 square for every $10 of their order. So if they buy, you know, $50, they get their name on 5 squares. If their total is at $47, I always throw out to them, is there anything else you need? Do you need beauty blotters? Do you need a brush? Granted, most of the products that they're going to add onto their order are going to bump them up and get them like 2 or 3 more squares, but it's always important to upsell. I always ask them, even when I was looking up my old emails, which is how I knew that I've been doing this since 2014, I saw in my emails that I was constantly upselling and asking them if they needed anything else, because I tell them like, okay, your total is $47. That gets you 4 squares, but if you need anything else, you can get more. And they always want more squares because that gives them a better chance to win. So collect orders and upsell. Then once I get their orders, I put their names randomly on the grid. So when I start out, I have just a blank grid. I don't have any numbers on there. It's just the squares. Yep. And I put their names just randomly. Like Emily said, you don't want to put them like go down all in one column. I just like literally just scatter them. And then right before the game starts on February 7th, the game usually starts at like 5 o'clock or something, or whenever you're done collecting orders that day. Then I add the numbers on the side. And so this again is completely random. Some years I've used a deck of cards and drawn numbers. In the past, I've been super lazy and kind of forget about it because we go to our neighbors for a Super Bowl party. So I just asked my husband, like, okay, quick, give me random numbers 0 through 9. And so that's how I fill out the green squares, is just random numbers, and you want 0 through 9 on the top and on the bottom. And then what happens when the game starts is you are going to keep track, and this is perfectly okay. If you have 0 interest in football, that is okay. You don't need to watch the game. You don't need to pay attention. There's this thing called Google, and you can totally check out the score later. But you're going to want to know the score after quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and then the final score. And what I do is I give away $25 worth of free product for anybody that has the final score, or the score after each of the first 3 quarters. And then I give away $50 in product to whoever has a score for quarter 4, or the final score. And so when you look at the grid, the NFC champions, whoever that will be, and the AFC champions, if the score after quarter 1 is 3-0.
Well, right now, Kate, this example, so this was last year's.
Oh, there it is.
Perfect. Yep. So it was 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. So you go to 7, yep, and then you match it up to 3, right? So that's, yep, this Allie Fussy, her name is. Halftime, it was 10-10. So when you have a double digit, you take the second number and the second number. So 0-0. So 0, and then I go over to 0. So that's Grace. And then 20, so again, 0-0. So Grace won twice, which is okay. They can win twice. Like they could win the whole thing, which is where the $125 in free product comes from. And then it was 0-1. So 0-1 was
Grace again.
Grace again. I don't know why it says Lisa. Maybe. Oh. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so that's wrong. I stole this from Emily Frank, so she probably picked that wrong. But yeah, so that's, it always confused me, the numbers. Like, how do you pick the numbers? But yeah, it's just like you randomly, like you could even take and write 1 through 9 on 9 different little pieces of crap paper, and then just pick pick random numbers.
Yep. So you may be thinking, okay, there's no way with my customer list can I sell $1,000 in retail product, or having this full board may completely intimidate you, that is okay. I think there's only been 1 year in my 6 years of doing this that I have filled up a complete board. There have been some years where I only sold $300 in retail products. So that's only 30 squares on that board. That is okay. That's why I'm saying everybody should be doing this because, yeah, or you may fill one, but not the second one. Because it's okay to have blank squares on your grid. And what happens then is you still follow the grid. And if the score at the end of quarter one leaves you with a blank square, that's okay. Nobody wins. And that's perfectly okay. That's just the luck of the draw. And so, yeah, does everybody get kind of the grid and how to keep track of the score? So Emily asked, like, if you let your customers pick, I totally do my grid randomly. I don't let my customers pick what numbers because I pick the numbers right before the beginning of the game to finish the top and the side of the grid. Some of my customers do know to contact me before or during the game, and they'll ask about their numbers. And so I'll tell them, like, okay, these are your squares. And so they're like my true football fans and really want to be like watching the scores and get super excited because they know that they're winning free product. So that's okay. I think 1 year I may have even taken a picture and posted it on my Facebook page. So if you want to do that and just let everybody know their squares, but it's really like 2 or 3 customers, often the ones that are at the same Super Bowl party as me, that want to know their numbers. And then what I do when I'm watching the game is I'll just circle the square with the winning quarter and write it down who won, and I text them right away and say, hey, Christine, you just won $25 in free product that you get to use on your next order. And they get super excited. So that's...
Yeah, and I put in the customer email. So I did make an email that you guys can send to your customers. I'll show it to you here in a second. But I did say in that email they need to use that coupon by the end of February. So if they're one of the winners, and I just think that that's smart because it's, you know, sometimes it's a lot to have coupons like hanging out there. It's a lot to keep track of and remember. So, I mean, it gives them a whole month to use that. And we have new products coming out in February. So there's like really no reason why they couldn't use that coupon by the end of February.
Yeah, I like that, giving a deadline.
Yes.
One last thing I wanted to mention is last year I scheduled a reminder text for the Sunday of Super Bowl. I think it went out at like 11 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, early enough to give everybody a reminder and let them get their orders in. But what was really cool was I remember I was in, I think, Rochester doing a party. And I remember like checking my phone. My phone was blowing up because I had scheduled the text to go out, the reminder, and I was at the party making money. And then like I had to rush to the car after the party to make sure that I counted up everybody's orders that I got during the party to get them on the grid before the game started. So doing that last minute reminder is really key because I think I had $1,000 day last year because I may have even done 2 parties, and that's why I scheduled the text to go out early. And I think I easily had $1,000 day because I did parties and then had that reminder text and got like $300 or $400 in orders for the Super Bowl board too.
Yeah, and I think you could really, I think that the key to stuff like this, you guys know, like when we do our $1,000 day sale, like I'm always reminding you guys about it, like, okay, send this text, okay, like this person has this much in, yay. It's like that with your customers too. So what if you got it out right away, like this, you know, in the next couple days, right? You got the message out, and I would Facebook it, or, you know, social media it, text it and email it. so that they have it. And then you can start doing little recognition posts like, oh my gosh, congrats to Gabrielle, Katie, and Anna, my awesome customers who already have this many squares on the Super Bowl grid combined. Oh my gosh, we're filling it up so fast. Get in on. It's like that constant kind of like, you kind of create the hype machine, right? And you keep it in front of them. This is not like you get it out there tomorrow and then you wait until the day of the Super Bowl and reminder text. There's lots of things going on that time. If you really want to sell a lot, this is how you do it, right? And even Kate said it, and we've had this same thing happen with the $1,000 day sale, right? Like if you have a year where you're really on it and you're getting the messages out and you're reminding people, you sell probably 2 or 3 times more than if you're just, you're on vacation, you forget. I mean, we've all done that. So really important. So I want to show you guys, because it's going to come into your email. So I redid all the materials for this. So this is the consultant email. So it has tips. I'm going to be posting this video playback here, so I have to do that yet. But it has instructions. If you click here, it's going to bring up the email that you can send to customers. I'll show you guys that in a second. Here's the social media graphic. Here's the grid. Here's a PDF of the grid if you wanted a PDF to print it out for yourself. And then this is a great tip too. You keep your grids from year to year, so you have record from the year before who participated. Yeah, and so that's great. And then also doing recognition for the people who do win. And one of the extras is I have these little pictures that you can use to recognize your customers on social media that did win. So you would just want to like save this, right? You can save the image on your phone, on your computer, and then just use like either Canva or Piccollage, or I don't know, maybe even just photo editor. You can do text too, and just add their name in with that text. So we have all of these things. So this is the consultant email, and then this is the customer email. It looks similar, but you can send this to your customers, and I will show you how to do that. But again, it's that same graphic, and then here's like a lowdown of how it works for them so that they can read this. So every 10 you purchase, you're going to get a square. If you have the ending digits, then you get this. You could end up winning 125 for free. Orders need to be placed. I put by February 5th. Now that doesn't mean that on Super Bowl Sunday, you couldn't give them a last chance. I just like to kind of create a little bit of sense of urgency and not wait that long. That they will be randomly placed on a square. Now, one thing I want to show you, this thing in red, you are going to need to change, right? So here's my personal website. I said, enter the code Super Bowl. They can just put that right in the comment section if they're ordering on your website. And I also put a current catalog here. So I'm going to show you, and the instructions for this are in the consultant email. But if you ever want to use an email like this, you hit Control A, so I've selected the whole thing. Control C copies the whole thing. Then you come over here to your little Gmail or whatever. This is my Compose window, and I hit Control V, and it has pasted the entire thing into my email. And then again, make sure you come here and put your own website in, and if you want to change the color, go for it, right? And then you hit who it's to. Oh my gosh, Super Bowl fun, send. Did you guys see how easy that was? I did it right on Zoom. So yeah, so you make it really easy. So everything's right in this email, so you can get it out. You can text this picture along with the script that's in the consultant email. So I'm going to be sending all this stuff to you. So